Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us. We are live on a Tuesday, some tedious times. We are going to try to offer with the I Love CVille Network an escape, if you may, just a short respite for all the stress and hecticness that's going on outside in the world today. I think it's important to continue to spotlight the positivity that's in our community and the positivity of entrepreneurship, of being a small business owner, of creating jobs in the community, of being a North Star and a level-headed mindset at a time when everyone's kind of stressed out right now. So that's what we're going to do with the I Love CVille Show. We will highlight how the virus is impacting the community, but we're going to do it in a way that we still tell the positive stories that are helping in the community. We're going to welcome George, Elder to the program, and Ray Feola in T-minus 30 seconds. They're partners in ownership of The Party Starts Here, an absolute institution in the business community in Charlottesville, Virginia, especially around the holidays. I personally watched George's daughters go through Almore High School and play volleyball there, so we're going to talk about that. We are an advertising agency at I Love CVille and VMV Brands, and we proudly represent 112 clients from New Providence, New Jersey, to Asheville, North Carolina, but most of them in the Commonwealth. All of them live in the community and are your neighbors, are people you see walking to your car, going to the grocery store, and they need your help more than ever in 2020 here in March as we try to make our way through this climate, health-wise, professionally, economically, across the board. We're going to talk about that with George and Ray in 20 seconds. We'll thank Interstate Pest and Service Companies for being a part of the show. We represent all aspects of the Interstate brand, another family business, 4 generations of family, started in 1969 with the first generation, Mr. Robert Wells, who's passed away. He used payphones and a personal truck in 1969 in Charlottesville to build a company. The Wells family now running at 4 generations and almost 100 team members. Also, Dr. Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. He's making an impact today. We represent his brand. Sports medicine, physical therapy, chiropractic care. Dr. Wagner has your back. So, we move forward with positive courage. Judah, studio camera. George, Elder, right here. Ray Feola, right here. Gentlemen, thank you kindly for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Your business, and I don't use this terminology lightly, an institution in Charlottesville. Actively involved with so many positive memories around the holidays. The Party Starts Here. I've personally been a customer for 20 years since I moved here as a first year at UVA. Before we get into the brand and a business that's undoubtedly one of your children in a lot of ways, Who is George Elder? What's he all about?
So, of course, I'm a big family guy. I have 3 daughters that we've raised and now working on 3 grandchildren and 1 more on the way in July. So, besides that, I play a lot of basketball, still playing softball, and into golf now. So, keeps me busy and traveling when I get the opportunity.
Pam Garrison has left a comment from Country 99.7 WCYK. She's watching right now. She says, Ray and George and The Party Starts Here are awesome. Such great people and a locally owned business. Leave comments in the comment section, and I will pass it along to the fellas. Throw this to you. I am a young father, 2-year-old. Is being a grandfather easier than being a dad?
Yes.
Have you gotten that question?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Because it's pretty freaking hard.
Yeah. That's why you have kids when you're young, right? I mean, because as a grandparent, I get to send the kids back home. I mean, we babysit. I have my oldest daughter lives in Greene, and she's a physical therapist for Spectrum. So we babysit once a week usually. And, those 4 hours or whatever are great. But then we send those kids back home, which is nice.
I love it. I love it. Let's get Ray in the mix. Then I'm going to ask you about starting the business and telling the story and give us the flip book of it. Before we do, we'll get Ray in the mix here. Ray, you're on camera, sir. Introduce yourself to Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, and the country here on the I Love CVille Network.
Sure. So like you said, my name is Ray Feola. I'm one of the owners of The Party Starts Here. Also, like George, I'm kind of a big family guy. So we do a lot of stuff with family here in town. I also am the president of the Northside Baseball League here in town, which is a youth sports organization on the northern side of town. So we do that as well. Before I had kids, I did a lot of sports as well, playing baseball, softball here in town in the Men's Adult Baseball League and then the Softball League. But since having kids, I've pretty much just done that. So we do kids now, and my son Eli is really big into baseball, so we do a lot of that. I help kind of coach his teams, and we do a lot of traveling around for baseball. So that's pretty much where I'm at now. I've got a little daughter, Lillian. She's 2, so she's still pretty young, kind of just learning her way around. But yeah, I'd say right now we focus a lot of baseball and business.
Bashir is watching from Bashir's on the Downtown Mall, the fabulous restaurant. He says you guys undoubtedly an institution in the Charlottesville community, and he's giving you props for running the business. James Watson and Neil Williamson, welcome to the program. You're getting some love, Ray, from a handful of people, including Chris and Crozet, Scott Kuzuch, Giatano Natalie.
Yep.
Watching the program here.
Thank you, guys.
Put comments in the comment section, and just, how about a hello, and then I'll pass it along to the fellas. All right, the history of this fabulous, fun, dynamic business. When did you start this company?
August 1988.
Wow.
Ray's dad and I came down from New Jersey.
Okay.
And actually started the business right here in the Downtown Mall. It was more of a card gift shop. We had balloons, a little bit of party. But back then, it was the first couple of years, it was more like a hobby than it was an actual business. It wasn't until, I think it was 91, we moved out to Seminole Square, and it actually became a business. The whole party industry at that point, late 80s, early 90s, was just starting to blow up. You know, Halloween was becoming, you know,
like a national holiday.
It was a national holiday.
Yeah.
So things, I mean, I remember our first year Halloween in Seminole Square. It was like, we bought what we thought was a good supply. And on November 1st, our wall was bare. It was unbelievable. So at that point, we had growth every year, which was fantastic. And then 2 years later, we moved from that 3,000 square foot location over to our present location on the other side, which we expanded to 7,000 square feet. And then 3 years ago, we actually took over the Christian bookstore, expanded to almost 10 right now.
So you guys come down from Jersey. Is this how soon did you launch the business upon moving from Jersey to Charlottesville?
So I came down a year early, 1987. My wife is a nurse, was working in research, was able to get a job at UVA. So I was down here a year early and just kind of scoped out the situation. Augie came, but we knew we were going to open a business before I left New Jersey. Augie and I had been preparing for our arrival down here. And then he came down like summer of '88, and then August of '88 we opened. So
I love it. I love it. You're getting props. Lee Archie, welcome to the program. Amanda Traploski, hello. Ray, you're getting some love from Travis Batten.
Yeah.
Faisal Sardar, watching the program. Fazil, watching the show.
Yeah.
So your history in the business, you started as son of one of the owners.
That's correct, yep.
Okay, so it's in your blood. What do you remember as a kid working here?
Well, I started working at the store probably when I was 15 years old, just starting on the front cash register, helping customers, just doing kind of the basic duties, blowing up balloons, all that kind of stuff, and then kind of found a real interest in the business and what it was, and, you know, party industry in general was interesting to me. So then I started kind of really focusing in on the important things, learning all the, you know, everything necessary to become a manager, everything that kind of entails. So I did that. I mean, Party Starts Here is really the only job I've worked. So I put all my passion and time into that. Kind of just worked my way up through the ranks and kind of in where we are today. So
how often do you get this, man? You guys are like the guys that throw parties. You guys make parties fun. I mean, I mean, how cool is that? You love that moniker, don't you, George?
I do.
It's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
It's been a great. I mean, 32 years.
Right?
It's
amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, my family's grown up in it. You know, I've met a lot of people, got a lot of business contacts through the business. And Charlottesville has afforded, you know, myself, my family, and Augie, I'm sure would say the same, and Ray, a good lifestyle. I mean, successful business that we're proud of, you know. So.
Ray, I'm going to throw some fans to you that are watching. Sean Robbins,
Awesome.
giving you some props right now. Laverna McMahon watching. Yeah. Kristen Lynn, welcome to the program. Give it a like, give it a share. How about how the business has evolved? Why leave the downtown mall? Throw that to you. What was the downtown mall like in the late 80s, early 90s, and why you made the transition?
So in the late 80s, it was still, you know.
It was sketch. Was it sketch?
It was, yeah. Now with restaurants, bars, and all that, that's what it needs to be, and they were trying to get there. But when we were there in '88, just there wasn't enough activity for us, and with the whole, you know, party industry expanding at that time, it was hard to get to our store being on the downtown mall. We needed people that could drive almost up to your front door to be able to, you know, purchase balloons, do all the things that we were trying to do. But we enjoyed our time on the downtown mall, met a lot of nice people.
What'd you see when you launched this? This is a town that is affluent. It's got the university. It's going to host people from outside the market. It's stable because of UVA. It's booming. This niche isn't filled.
Yeah, and you know, we came down. My brother-in-law lived down here. He was working at UVA also. We came down, visited. Thought the area was a great place to raise our kids, and trying to get out of New Jersey because of all the, you know, driving on Route 80 every day to go to work was a challenge. So both Augie and I were interested in moving south, and both found Charlottesville as a great place to start something.
Love it. Yeah. Ray, when you're growing up in the business, when's it start thinking like, all right, I'm going to go pursue this into a career, as opposed to maybe like a summertime gig while you're in school, to like going, I want to get into ownership, be the second generation of this company?
Yeah. Well, I really fell into it kind of in my years in high school. Spent a lot of time there when I obviously wasn't doing sports or at school. And then when I made the decision after high school to not really go away to a 4-year college, decided to stay in and go to Piedmont for a little bit and really get hands-on experience at the store, which is, you know, very valuable. I think, you know, there's value to going to school, away to school, and then value to getting on-site training. I kind of chose the on-site training route, and it's worked out well. I've then I've learned a lot from George and my dad over the years. Obviously wouldn't know half of what I know without them as far as business goes, but so they've been great mentors to me going forward, like I said, which is valuable in its own right.
You're getting props right now from Joseph Feola.
That's my brother.
Your brother's watching.
Yep.
He says, Charlottesville, stay together. We're certainly going to go down this road and that topic with these gentlemen. Before we do, how about the business? So I know the business in the following ways. I know the business Halloween. I know the business Christmas. And I'll know the business 2 or 3, maybe 2 other times. So maybe I patronize, say, 5 to 6 times a year. Right. And I know it for, say, birthdays.
Right.
Okay? Walk us through the model outside of, like, the go-to days where people are, like, flooding you.
Yeah, so, again, another one would be graduation. With UVA, the lawn is a big ceremony. And then, you know, having so many local high schools around. So from really the end of April through June, with all the graduations, colleges, high schools, is really busy. It's really our second busiest time after Halloween. New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's is another one.
Yeah. I remember when we were on the downtown mall doing the first night, we would have a little shopping cart and be selling balloons and blowouts and all that kind of stuff. And now they find us out at Seminole Square. But, you know, each month has something. Like January, all the sororities are doing their bids and all that kind of stuff, so it keeps us busy. February, you got Valentine's Day, depending on where Easter falls, you have Mardi Gras, then you go into St. Patrick's Day, Easter, so there's, you got the Dogwood Parade that keeps you busy. And then, after graduations, you hit 4th of July, and really our only slow time, if you want to say slow time, is right after the 4th of July.
To Halloween?
Till mid-August when the students come back, because then they'll start, having their, maybe a hat party or a beard party or, different types of parties there. So that's the only, and then you have birthdays in between, and now future, like right now, we're doing a lot more in balloon decorating. We do arches and towers and all that kind of stuff. So we're doing bigger events now.
How'd you get into that? I mean, and that's brilliant because that diversifies the business from what happens online.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a service. It's experiential.
Exactly. That's why we got into it.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, online, retail has changed over the last 5-6 years. I mean, people can come in the store with their cell phones and say, where can I get this? But balloons and things, decorating, you really have to come in. You're not going to buy it online unless you're willing to do it yourself. So we've done a lot of big events. We did the event at the Paramount, their big fundraiser.
Nice.
Did one at...
That's awesome. I was going to ask about this.
Yeah. Santa Run.
Yeah.
We supplied...
For Arc of the Piedmont.
Yes. We supplied all the Santa suits for Arc of the Piedmont. Brilliant. Yes. And we're also doing Richmond and Harrisonburg, doing their Santa runs.
So we talk a lot about this, and I love picking your brain. Let's just have free-flowing discussion. So one of our clients that we rep, our advertising agency, is Animal Connection. Patty Bowden in the McIntyre Plaza.
Yeah, I just met her the other day. She came in the store.
She's phenomenal. Almost 20 years in the McIntyre Plaza. And she's had to pivot her model. And I can't emphasize enough for all the people that are watching here to support small, locally owned businesses and keep the money in the community and bypass the convenience of an online retailer and shop locally. But she pivoted her model with Animal Connection in that she's still doing it. She's still doing like the toys and the treats and then the stuff like, chew toys, collars, leashes. Right. But she's doing a lot of like self-serve dog wash, a lot of like in-store grooming. Yeah. And is giving some contemplation of potentially being like a daycare of some kind, pivoting the model away from what's on perhaps a shelf to experiential retail. So we have a lot of business owners watching now. Can we talk about the strategies that you guys were thinking, throw it to you, of how it's more experiential retail? Yeah, well, I mean, I think like George said, it's doing more things that you just can't get online. I mean, like we do a lot of the rentals as well. We do snow cone machine, popcorn machine, cotton candy machine, rentals. Just items, that you just can't get them online. Doing the balloon decorating, like George said, unless you wanted to do that yourself, I think it's kind of, it's something that's a service that can be offered. Delivery, we deliver balloons, just normal balloons to anybody. So, again, that's kind of another service that you just can't get online. And with, like another thing George was saying, people can come in the store nowadays with their cell phone and look at this. And it used to kind of be if someone couldn't find something exactly they were looking for, they would kind of make a compromise and do something else about it. But now with technology and the way you can get things as quickly as you can get them, I think, if you don't have that item, they're just going to kind of move on. So it's finding that item that you can have that they can't just move on to, so there's a fine balance. It's definitely ever changing and fun. It stays fun.
And I think as a small business owner, you have the ability to pivot and change things.
We have to. That's our skill.
Right.
That's our market advantage versus like these big ones that have the economies of scale and may beat us in with like the back-end supports in place. They have in-house legal, all the other jazz. Right. Our ability to change on the fly.
That's exactly right. And we're a member of a buying group that we have annual meetings, so we're able to talk and discuss similar business things and get ideas and stuff that we implement some of them don't fit our situation. But
I love this conversation. I love the innovation. I love being like the best version of ourselves every day.
Yeah.
What are some of the other ideas coming down the pipe that you're brainstorming potentially?
Well, because of the situation we're in right now, we're putting out there on Facebook that we'll, if you don't want to come to the store, it's fine. We'll package a party for you. If you're having in-home parties for just family members, call us. We'll put a party together and we'll deliver it free anywhere in Charlottesville, 15 miles from the store for free. So that's one thing we're trying to do here right now. But
I love it. I love it. How do you think? What are you seeing? You've been here since '88, since before '88 here. What are you seeing with a situation like this and impacting Charlotte? Have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing like this.
I don't think anybody's seen anything like this. It's unprecedented, really. I mean, it's crazy. I always look to George and my dad for advice on things, and even for something like this, I don't think anybody really knows the right answer. It's just kind of take it a day at a time and try to come up with new things. Like we just kind of came up with this the other day, the delivery, free delivery of party supplies and balloons, or really, anything we sell in the store, we'll deliver it to you. So,
George, jump in the mix. Tom Bowe, owner of Take It Away Sandwich Shop, is watching the program. Sasso, the owner of Fabio's on High Street's watching the show. A lot of business owners watching. Charlottesville Chamber watching. Folks in Crozet, Charlottesville, Fluvanna, Louisa watching the show. Put a comment in the comment section. I'll read it on air. Ashley Jones has this comment. Hi, George and Ray. You're doing great. Keep being awesome. Keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
She's watching. Fazel, if you don't know what you're looking for a specific event, specialists like this can help you get what you envision and get it right. Chris Gallagher is watching. He says Ray and the team did a kick-ass job at the ARC Gala this year.
Thank you, Chris.
Online doesn't have the experience these guys have, which I totally agree. We had Monique Moshier, the owner of The Happy Cook, on the show.
Okay.
And she was talking about how she's managing the Amazon, and she's whittled down her line. Like, say she used the metaphor of like a garlic press. Instead of having like 10 garlic presses, she'll have like 3, which are like the high-end price, the middle price, and the low-end price. And when the customers come in, she'll say, here they are. We stand behind these 3. You can trust an Amazon review, but you don't know who wrote it. You don't know if it's planted. You don't know if it's bullshit,
True.
if it's genuine.
That's right.
But when you come into the Happy Cook, these 3 items we've backed and we've used ourselves. I thought that was a genius strategy, along with what she's doing with the in-house classes where chefs go to the Happy Cook and they teach them to do stuff.
Yeah. She just started that, too.
Just started it. It's brilliant.
It's a good idea.
It's brilliant. I respect your hustle. Getting into like the rental game, the party planning game.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, George.
Yeah, I think, new ideas all the time, and that's what's going to keep our business. I'm getting to the point in my career where I'm probably not too far from retirement. But, Ray and we have a manager, Ryan Dalton, that would like to continue this business for the next 30 years. So we're hoping a 32-year business becomes a 60-year business or more. So we'll continue to follow trends and try to, beat the bigger guys there when we can. So.
Becky Andrews, hey Ray, we love you. You have been great for all our needs. Banners and bumper stickers are outstanding. We support Party Starts Here. Pat Casey, welcome to the program. Sean Robbins, hello. Nicole Robbins, hello. Throw this to you, Ray. Yeah. Where do you see it going? What do you want to see for the next 32 years? This guy says he's going on retirement, no doubt.
Right? Yeah, no, absolutely. I think kind of just an ever-changing version of what we've got going on now. I couldn't sit here and tell you that the same thing we're doing now is going to work even in a year. So it's staying on top of the industry. It's staying on top of trends. It's staying on top of what people are wanting to buy, and providing services to kind of accommodate to that and adjust to the needs of the community. We're not set in any certain way. with the way we do things, as we figure out things that work and things that don't work, we kind of constantly are changing to stay alive and to keep competitive with everybody else.
We talk a lot about on the show, and we were talking with Justin Goodman, Scott Goodman's son. Scott Goodman from the attorney, voice of Albemarle.
Yep.
His son is a business owner.
Oh.
Justin Goodman owns Zoom and Barracks Road, the
Right,
studio.
right,
Yeah.
University of Flores.
Yeah.
And we were talking about some of the whole premise of the program is to spotlight entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And we were talking about, and to celebrate them, because this job is hard.
Yes.
Lonely, hard, long hours. Okay. We were talking about how tough sometimes it is to do business, for example, in the city. What have you seen in 32 years of running this? A good example we were talking about is paying taxes on gross at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm talking about? Gross dollars. Now, where you cannot do it as you go.
Right.
It's all due in the front, and it's a projection.
That's
if you're wrong, you owe it in the back end.
Just did that.
Yeah.
Just got our business license.
I mean, that is nuts.
Yes, it is.
There's a municipality locally, Nelson County, literally comes to you and says, money for your business license. All right, go to work.
Yeah, that's right.
Charlottesville doing business in Charlottesville.
Yeah, certainly changes all the time. And, the shopping center we're in right now is going through some growth pains. So we've become, not that we weren't always a destination spot, but we've become more of a destination spot because Giant left 6-7 years ago now. And the people at our management company are working through a few different plans, and hopefully something will pop in the near future or whatever to help foot traffic. The road there has helped a bit, but we've certainly increased sales from 10 years ago, but we're just continuing to find new brands to.
You're getting some prompts from your aunt, Pat Casey. I'm watching in California. I love you, Ray. Love what you guys are doing here. Do you ever see it, Ray? Do you ever see it? And this question's coming in the feed. Do you ever see it being an online play with a pickup location of some kind?
I don't know about totally online, but it's something we talked about, possibly, offering like a buy online, pick up in store type feature, just as an added convenience for customers. But I wouldn't say never, because things are constantly changing. But I mean, I like the store location and being able to provide the customer service to customers and kind of getting that one-on-one interaction that you can't get online. It's not possible. So I wouldn't say never, but not in the near future. I wouldn't. And we were going to try to hold strong.
I think
with
the couple things that we were working on in the future, and I'm not sure exactly when it will happen, but is having a balloon ordering system available online. So you could go on there, pick colors.
That's a great idea.
Pick whatever style balloon you want, and then order it, and then just pick it up. And that goes for, we do small banners, not gigantic banners like you have here. But
yeah.
We do, a lot of graduation banners and small party banners and stuff. And you'll be able to do those things too. And we might be able to reach more people with the banner thing. It might be somebody that's out of state could actually order a banner and ship. But the balloons would have to be local. Yeah. But it'll be an easier process. People would just go online and pick what they want and just come by the store, pick it up.
Love it. How have you seen Charlottesville change, retail-wise? I mean, were you here? Was Barracks fully occupied? Barracks was. Okay, nothing north of Barracks.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had the mall, everything after the mall. You didn't have Walmart, you didn't have Target, that whole center there. And not even that, but all the surrounding areas. You didn't have a Walmart in Fluvannia. You didn't have a Walmart in Waynesboro. You didn't have all those little areas. So a lot more people would venture to Charlottesville. So now, that because of those little stops, it just takes, not that we're competitors with Walmart or anything. But it grabs a little piece of the pie that people...
Sprinkles the pie out.
Yeah. Yep. So That has certainly changed. And to cover those, we've had to add this, that, or the other thing to complement.
Do you like the way Charlottesville's headed in your 32 years here, 33 years in the community? Do you like what it's become?
Yes, I love Charlottesville. I mean, I mean, my kids had awesome friends, grew up in a great environment. I think they would all enjoy staying here if the opportunity. I have one daughter here, one's in Philly and one's in Richmond. But, you know, marriage takes you other places. So, but I think nice centrally located place that we've enjoyed.
What would you do, throw this topic out to you guys, and we'll get to these comments, guys, here in a matter of moments. What would you do here if you're council, if you're Charlottesville City Hall here with what's going on with the coronavirus? How would you handle this, George? Have you thought about this?
I mean...
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you. I'll let you go with it.
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough thing right now, and I think, like everyone's saying, they got to flatten the curve. We have to stop for, you know, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We have to stop and trying to calm things down, and then hopefully get back to normal. You know, I don't know. It's tough. To me, I wish, as a small business owner, I wish I could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, you're saying
because,
when things go back to normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I could, even if I can see,
you can budget
over the hurt.
and project.
Yes, then I can work back from that. I can say, this is the finances I need to carry me on. But right now, it's like, you know, where are we throwing the money at, and where is it getting us? Where if I saw the light, and I'm certain we could figure out how to fill in the blocks in front of it. But not knowing where that light is the challenge for small business.
What do you think? I agree 100%.
No, I agree with what George is saying. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations over the last couple of days, and I mean, I think he's hit it spot on. I don't think much more to elaborate on that. It's so up in the air right now. Just like I said, nobody knows where it is. Is it a month? Is it 2 months? Is it today they said something about maybe July or August, it lasting till. So if that's the case, then it makes things a lot more difficult kind of for people to plan. And
we had three restaurant owners here yesterday, mm-hmm. and 2 executive chefs, 5 people on the show from 5 different restaurants. Uh-huh. And these are the leaders, like the owners that are the leaders in the restaurant category. And this is crazy, and I'm not trying to be exaggeratory or like hyperbolize anything at all. I think legitimately you could possibly see 20 to 30% of the restaurants in Charlottesville close permanently. Because of the operation is on such like slim cash flow. Right. Like shutting for like 2 weeks, especially in the spring as it's going from cold to hot and right around graduation, and we're having the students out of the ecosystem. I mean, I just and I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer or negative. I just, like you said, if we at least had a way to plan what was in store and when we get out of this.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're in a similar boat. I mean, we're not, you know, we don't have, you know, giant capital.
Yeah, we're small business owners.
Yeah. So, you know, we need to, you know, I don't know how much help we're going to get or, you know, finances. I mean, we've made stops at trying to, we're only open now 10 to 6. You know, we've had to cut back on employees a little bit. We've made our stops to the bank, to the leasing agent, you know, all those things that we're trying to, you know, at least stay ahead of to help us extend our life, you know, as far as that goes. But, you know, some states have already closed unessential retail.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So, you know, that's going to be us at some point. I know restaurants are getting the brunt of it right now, but we'll all feel it for a while.
Yeah, even though we're open, I mean, we're taking a hit customer-wise for sure. Yeah. I mean, just since Wednesday, when it kind of seems like the news broke that it was like going to be as bad as it looks like it's going to be. It just kind of was just like a line, like customers coming in, and then it's kind of just been since Wednesday. I mean, just a couple customers here and there in the days, and that's what makes it tough and makes it hard for you to project futures, because when do the customers return? When do people start coming back and returning to their daily life? So,
I mean, I am spitballing with you guys. That's why I'm really hopeful for a lot of many different reasons. For first, the health of everyone. That if President Ryan says we can have graduation, then that means we're heading down the road of healthiness.
Right.
So that's like the first priority is health for the community.
Absolutely.
I mean, the importance of graduation, after we've emphasized the health of the community, the importance of graduation for a local economy.
It's unbelievable.
Big.
Yeah.
That would be big. To me, that starts our graduation season for us. I mean, UVA's graduation, and I'm just hoping whether they can possibly delay it or whatever. I know it's big for the kids and the parents of all the.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
The kids that went to UVA
right.
to graduate on the lawn and stuff. So hopefully they can get to a point where, President Ryan would be willing to do something.
You got something. You got this question coming in from Grace. Guys, I've enjoyed coming to the store for all our family's needs. Can you ask Mr. Elder his favorite memories with his family in the store? That's from Grace.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Grace. I'm lucky enough to have a family that comes to visit. My brother lives in the Midwest. I have a couple sisters from Long Island. So a great memory. They come down and I take them to the store when it's not open, and we go through and they're trying on different types of masks and costumes, and it's a blast to see them enjoy what we've built there. So
that's awesome.
Fun.
Same for you, Ray. Same question. Favorite memories.
Favorite memories. So man, I've got a lot, because I've got some from growing up in the store when I was a kid. Being able to kind of just run through the back room. Same thing when the store was closed, and kind of just feel like everything was there for you to kind of get to grab and to play with. And then as I've grown up, seeing my kids being able to do the same thing, like seeing my son Eli be able to come in and then just run around and play and have fun. And then Lillian, now she's moving around, walking and talking and doing all the same kind of things. So now to see her run in and to see her eyes light up, like she's seen a lot of this stuff for the first time. So to see her and how she kind of reacts to it it's a lot of fun. I'd say that's probably my best memories.
I love it. We'll get to a couple more questions here. The Santa run has been put on the feed here from Christopher. He says you guys did a great job with the Santa run and all those Santa suits. How much planning goes into ordering Santa suits like that? I mean, we're talking about hundreds of Santa suits, aren't we? Was it over 1,000?
I think this past year, we ordered about 500.
Okay, 500.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so
for Charlottesville.
For Charlottesville's art, yeah.
Another 50 for Harrisonburg.
Yep.
So how much? Talk to us about that. When you have 500 plus Santa suits.
So Halloween is planned so far ahead, and so we're ordering all our Halloween in January.
Right.
So Christmas is right after that.
Yep.
So we're lucky enough that they contacted us early enough. Ray got in contact with
Brian over there at the Ark. Brian's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
So we order this stuff in February, because the costume companies, they want to get the stuff out of their warehouse. Of
course.
They want so they ship it out, and we have it. Christmas we probably didn't get till August or whatever.
It came in about August, yeah.
But it's 8 months of planning to get that scenario together. So anybody that's looking for large amounts, you gotta start ahead to get that kind of quantities. But
I love it. Throw this to you. We often bring this topic up here. So we talk about how this show was birthed because of August 12th. You grew up in this community here.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind that day, August 12th, 2017? Where were you watching? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was actually out at a friend's house out in Earlysville. They were having a party for their children, and I just felt it was best to stay as far away that day as possible. didn't want to, get wrapped up in any of that was going on. I mean, obviously it's terrible. That's associated with Charlottesville forever now, and everything that happened. But me personally, I felt it was best that day to stay far away from down here.
Same for you, George.
Yeah, I also was out of town that weekend. We had a family vacation. But just, I wish somehow it could have been avoided differently. But, like Ray said, it's part of us forever. And, I go out of town sometimes and they'll say, oh, you're from Charlottesville. I said, I am from Charlottesville. I love Charlottesville. We have just, one bad incident.
It's not us as a city.
Us.
Yeah.
I mean, the people here love the community that we live in. I mean, I don't know the exact percentages, but the majority of the people that were here that day weren't from Charlottesville. I mean, they were people that, because of the statues or whatever, they felt like it was their, they wanted to come
Fields
here.
drove from Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
He's in jail for the rest of his life. What an idiot.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just stupid.
So, I mean,
yeah.
how do you combat that kind of stuff?
Last question for you, and we throw the last question to all our guests. Go anywhere you want on that. What would you say, and you guys crush it, we're 50 minutes in, what would you guys say would be from like not a State of the Union, but like final word, piece of advice that you would give to this community? I mean, there's a lot of stuff on our plate right now. And it's not unique to Charlottesville. Let's face it, life throws wrenches to everybody. But August 12th, you're still dealing with that, right? You got UVA students no longer in Charlottesville for a foreseeable future. You got this coronavirus that's going down right here. Uncertainty at City Hall, depending on who you talk with. You can leave it at that. What would you say? What is the advice you would give to the community with a lot of people watching here?
Well, the first thing is for the next 2 weeks, be safe and do what is recommended. Not, don't go to big events and stuff, and let's try to stop the curve that it's on. After that, we need to support the people in Charlottesville, both whether it's visiting a local store or just enjoying life that we have here. I mean, being in Central Virginia lucky enough to have all the wineries and wonderful restaurants, and, we live in just a fantastic place, and let's enjoy it. And if we can enjoy life, things will get back to normal.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say here, too.
That's it.
Well said. Well said. How about you, Ray?
I don't know how to follow up on that. That was pretty good.
That was good.
I think the same thing. People need to just stay safe for the next couple of weeks and just follow what's coming down from the government as far as recommendations. And as much as we hate to say it, the 10 or less people in a group is what they're recommending, and I think that's probably what people should do now for the next couple of weeks. But also, like George said, when things start to return, and I think Charlottesville will, because Charlottesville is, as I know, is a great place. It's been
in
my
our blood.
home. Yeah, it's been my home, for 31 years. I was born in New Jersey, but I've pretty much lived here my whole life. So Charlottesville is me, and I'm Charlottesville. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are like that. And when things start to return, I mean, I know I will, but I'll focus all my money when I can to local businesses just to kind of to get it going again, because that's what we all have to do is kind of band together to build each other back up. And
Respect.
That's the only way I can really see it. I mean, companies like Amazon, Walmart, I mean, they'll weather the storm like they will because they can. But small businesses have to stick together, and I think Charlottesville will prove that to the country and to the rest of the world that we'll stick together because we're a community.
That's a perfect way to finish that. You just crushed that. And that's literally what we're trying to do with the show now, is to encourage the community to keep the dollars as local as possible. What we tried to do yesterday with the restaurant owners, what we're trying to do here, we can't avoid what's outside, but we can figure out solutions and ideas and strategies to help shorten the hardship that's outside and get us back to where we want to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's the whole premise of what we're trying to do with this program and what we'll continue to do as we move forward and march on the I Love CVille show. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed
Thank you
the
so
time.
much.
Yeah, it was
a great show.
good too.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll archive the show on ilovecville.com. We will turn it into a podcast by the end of today, out of close of business today, on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. And for 2 weeks, we'll syndicate it across our network, which is 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, an e-newsletter that goes out every morning to over 130,000 inboxes. We have the third largest Instagram community in Charlottesville, behind UVA in the city of Charlottesville. It's the I Love CVille show. All we're trying to do is have positive conversations, real life conversations, not avoiding what's actually in the news cycle, but looking at them in strategic, results-oriented ways that aren't not doom and gloom. So tomorrow we're going to have Dr. Lindsay Neal and Dr. Rebecca Downey, entrepreneurs behind a direct primary care doctor's office in Charlottesville. On Thursday, Lloyd Snook, Charlottesville City Councilor, is going to join us today. Friday, Keith and Jonas Smith talking real estate and how the real estate market's impacted will join us on Friday. It's Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille show. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Easy, yeah. Wow, that was 50 minutes.
Yes, sir.
That was,
Yes, sir. We will, Judah, let's get